Well, hello, and welcome to my weekly Facebook Live show, Irresistible You. I'm so excited to be back after all these amazing holidays that we had, celebrations, traveling, starting 2018. Wow. And come back here and spend this quality time with you, right? Sharing some insights, some ideas, some energy, right? Encouraging, inspiring energy with you so you can start your 2018 with excitement, joy, and follow your true authentic desires, right? So whoever joins this show live, you're welcome to share where you're from, share some likes, hearts, emoji, just to put your energy here so we can all create this collective powerful energy together. This is how we all benefit from it. This is how we all grow and expand, and we create alternative island of positive high vibrational energy so we can all benefit from it and grow and expand and make our desires manifest into real life, right? So and even if you're watching on replay, you can do exactly the same thing. Participate, share your energy with us, right? Share your questions. You're welcome to ask questions. If you join live, you can ask them right here, and I will respond right here on live show. If you're watching on replay, you can still ask questions, make comments, and I will come back to you, right? All right, so today is a very powerful topic again. Every topic is powerful, but this one is very important for those ones who already working on making their true, authentic heart desires work for you and manifest them in reality. So it is very important. Or somebody join. Hello, say hi and say where you're from. So before we start our topic today, and our topic is about self-sabotage. From self-sabotage to self-empowerment. From self-sabotage to self-empowerment in all areas in our life. And I see the most important areas of our life is relationships, right? Relationships, family, career, business, and living your life purpose, which is connected with career and business, but not necessarily the same thing, right? So many people actually don't like what they do, they hate their jobs, and they dream about doing something different, but they don't know how to transition. So it's all interconnected, right? And another thing that I find all the time when I talk with so many women from all over the world, working with my clients, I find there is a huge kind of limiting belief that modern women have, that we have to choose between two. We have to choose relationship, loving, lasting relationship, and focus on family, or we can choose career and business, and then we have to sacrifice our relationship. So there is this limiting belief that we need to choose. We can't have it both, and that's total bullshit. And I used to kind of believe in the same thing, and I didn't see myself to be in my power in both areas, because it was kind of a conflicting area, right? Like, you can't be just powerful woman and have a beautiful relationship, because then you can overpower your man, right? It's also a balance between masculine and feminine, and we talked about that before. But today we will talk about how we self-sabotage ourselves so we can get what we really desire. Now, I want to really emphasize of the importance of discovering your true authentic desires. That was I believe it was last topic we had in 2017, and it was very important to talk about it, because we're starting new year and we want to release all the old toxic energies, everything that holds us back, and manifest what we truly want, right? The challenge of the most people, not just women, but statistically, only 1% out of 100 people knows exactly what they want. This is kind of shocking statistics, because what about the other 99% of our population? Well, that was, I was discussing this topic before, and we talked about the difference between authentic, true heart desires, what you desire inside your body, inside your soul, right? And those desires that are offered on the market, desires, right? Something that is offered on the market. Hi, Maria, welcome. And something that is not authentic, but we start to believe that we need to want them because nothing else is available, right? So before we start to talk about self-sabotage, we do need to look deep inside ourselves and discover those deep, authentic heart desires. That what do I really want? No matter what is offered on the market, you know, even if you don't believe it is possible yet, it is still very important to find out what does your soul desire, what does your body desire, right? And this is, for me, desires are sacred, because the desire is the foundation of creativity. You create because you desire to create, right? The desire is the beginning of the creative process. So that's why it's important to discover these authentic, deep heart desires. The second one that is important to look at before we start to explore self-sabotage and our self-sabotaging energy and behavior is to understand what is your core wound, right? What is that place that you still feel pain, right? Usually we have those wounds starting from our early childhood, right? And there are, I discovered like 6 major like core wounds that most human beings have, and they're connected with certain patterns that we develop during our life to protect ourselves, to be re-traumatized. We don't want to get into the same situation when we receive so much pain again. So in the childhood, we develop certain defensive behaviors, mechanisms to protect ourselves and to stay safe. So that is also very important to look at before we look at self-sabotage, because these fears, these wounds, they actually provoke us to self-sabotage ourselves. And I'm gonna focus on 6 of them, and they are deeper reasons for our self-sabotaging behaviors and energies. So let's take a look at them together. So I discern 6 deep core wounds that bring that cause the self-sabotaging energies and behavior. The first one is a fear of abandonment, right? And I actually had a separate training, separate live show about fear of abandonment, because many women share that they have this. So of course it comes also from our childhood, that something happened and we felt abandoned by our parents or some other adults. And then that could be also manifested in our relationships, right? There can be some negative experience in relationship when a woman was abandoned by a man multiple times, and that created this energy of mistrust and believing that, you know, relationships with men are not safe. So we need to protect ourselves, otherwise we can be abandoned. And self-sabotaging behavior from connected with this wound is avoiding actually serious relationship, convincing yourself that you're okay by yourself, you don't need to rely on anybody else, and like that relationship creates codependency, like breaking up with men before they break up with you, finding the reason, not staying long enough in the relationship to explore the depth and face all the challenges, right? And also choosing to believe that, you know, there is no right man for you, and all men are not trustworthy, and then they are unreliable. So hi Jane, welcome. So and the result, you're staying alone and you're not exploring the relationship, even if you deep inside you desire that, you're avoiding that because of that fear, right? Now, the second one I want to cover today is non-belonging, and that is mine. That is the biggest issue in my entire life and started very early in my childhood. So that fear, that feeling, it comes from this belief that I don't belong here. I don't belong to my culture. I don't belong to society. Nobody understands me. People don't get me. So why to bother? Why to bother to open up in a relationship? Why to bother to share my deep, vulnerabilities? Why to share my gifts with the humanity? Why to live my life purpose if I'm not accepted? I don't belong. So that was a huge thing for me, and little pieces of that still coming through once in a while. So I'm just being very aware and very focused when they come up. So I recognize them and I choose not to go there, right? So the third one is a fear of failure, right? This is something we inherit from our parents, from family, from our society, that there is always, if we do something, there is always like success or failure, like winning or losing. Like everything we do is around that, right? So that can create, it's a big one, and almost everybody has that, because this is how our Western civilization is built. Like you either lose or win, you succeed or you fail, no matter what you do, right? So I had that one too, and my rebellious nature developed this defensive mechanism of actually self-sabotaging behavior to actually choose to fail in certain situations, to prove that the failure, to prove that the failure is not something wrong, or to prove like, okay, if I fail, you're not gonna love me or what? So I fail to show that I'm okay to fail, and like to rebel against winning, right? Or another situation, another behavior that I discovered I used to do is to not to participate, like whatever involves competition, whatever involves this situation, or succeed or lose or fail, I just don't participate. I'm above this. You guys do this yourself. I'm walking away. I'm quitting. So that also caused lots of situations when I didn't go for something because I felt I'm not gonna compete, So that was like very self-sabotaging behavior, because even if something externally designed as a competition, I could still participate for my own reasons, right? I could bring my own values in that activity and see it as a process, as an exploration, as experience versus failing or losing, right? And now I know this, and now I go for it. But before, I just self-sabotage myself from any kind of participation. And so many activities in our society is connected with competition, right? Almost everything. So I didn't participate in life in many occasions because I was rebelling against this game of winning and losing. And now I honor that. I honor my values, that I don't believe in competition. I don't believe in winning and losing, but I still participate for my own reasons. I participate in something that is important for me, that the activities I enjoy, there's certain business goals that they have, right? For my own reasons. And I don't care what people think, whether I fail or lose, or fail or win, or succeed. I do it for my own reasons, for my own growth and for experience, rather than the result, right? Now, the fear of rejection. This is also a big one, and this is all about avoiding triggers and avoiding vulnerabilities with the fear to be rejected. It is connected with the previous ones, with abandonment, but it's more straightforward, like you're rejected, for something. And in a relationship, it's a big one, right? What women do many times unconsciously, especially those ones who haven't done enough of work, what we do because we don't have enough trust for men, because we were rejected before, starting from the childhood, maybe negative experience in relationships, we were rejected for who we are. We couldn't be ourselves in relationships, so we are avoiding this honesty, vulnerabilities, and being open in a relationship to avoid this rejection, right? And what very interesting self-sabotaging behavior that almost all women do, and when they have those blind spots, they test men in relationship to see how they will react in this or that situation, kind of creating, provoking them to show them the ugly side, right? Triggering them, like, because women are very, very emotionally intelligent deep inside, even if they're not completely conscious. We're very good with reading the emotions, reading the energy. So what we do, we often provoke the situation to test how he will react in this situation. And many situations are not quite real, but we create them to test and see, can I trust him, you know? What will he do if that will happen? So we kind of generate that energy, generate those situations to test men. But the tricky thing that deep inside, men also feel that. So if it is not a real situation, he might respond in the way that you expect him to respond. Like he might, it's like the failure, right, thing. He might give you what you expect, the worst of him, just to rebel against this testing. And this is it's not so obvious, right? It's when we do a deeper work, deeper inner work, we can discover that about ourselves. I did that, you know? So it's not about blaming or judging yourself. It's about noticing, witnessing these things, discovering things about yourself. And then you can, when you become aware, you can transform them, right? Now, feeling unworthy, right? It's kind of interconnected with the rejection thing, but the unworthiness can create enormous amounts of self-sabotage, right? If you believe that you are unworthy to have beautiful, loving, lasting relationship because of different reasons, you're gonna sabotage that experience, right? If you don't believe you can have success in your career and be in your power in your relationship, be yourself, you're not gonna have it, right? Because you'll find excuses, and then these excuses will generate certain energy and bring up certain behaviors that will block that experience from you. You will avoid it. So that's a big one. And another thing that we can do when we have this thing, we feel, okay, I'm unworthy, so if somebody loves me, that's very suspicious. Even if he says that he loves me, I still don't believe it, you know? It's like, let's test how much he loves me. So that's also can bring up lots of different painful experience that we create ourselves to prove our fear and stay in this zone of they call it's illusion of security, right? And not to go for a deeper exploration of relationship and challenges in the relationship, because we feel that it's not safe, right? And approved, my fears are real, you know. So that's another one. So the biggest question that we can ask ourselves about self-sabotage, when we become aware of all these things that I mentioned, right? That's the first, that's priority. How to, even if we know all these things, how to transform self-sabotage to self-empowerment and live from the place of our power and follow our authentic desires versus following our fears, right? That's the biggest question, and my answer would be, it is daily practice. It is not about just creating your New Year resolutions and planning all this. It's good to become aware on a general, like, a big way that, okay, I have that. But it's so important to bring it into your daily life. And this is when you create transformation. You can create a transformation on theoretical level. If you know these things on the mental level, and you've done some work before, you can stop doing this work. It's a daily practice. So you need, on a daily basis, you need to have consistency, discipline, and focus. You have to track how you feel and when the self-sabotaging behavior and energy comes through. It's when you wake up in the morning, when you drink your coffee, when you drive your car, when you go to work and communicate with other people, the most triggering one, when you have challenges during your daily life, right? When you feel tired, when you go to the gym, when you feel sick, whatever happens in your life, it is very important to be aware and really connect with this place. Okay, do I face this particular situation from the place of fear or from the place of power? And your power comes from your authentic deep desires. That's the clue. Like, how did I discover my power, right? Your power is connected with your true authentic desires. What feels good for you, right? What do you want to feel? What do you want to experience? What is the direction, what naturally, deeply you feel drawn to, that you want to move into this direction? So your deep authentic desires are foundation for your power and foundation for your creativity of what you can create. And they also connected with your life purpose, because life purpose is not just about serving others. It's also about what you desire. And when you find that beforehand inside yourself, it will be the same thing. Your life purpose is exactly the same what your heart desire is, right? So it's about daily practice. And there is one big question that a few clients of mine, they claimed that this question was life-changing for them. When the women who went through my 3-month program, a relationship and feminine empowerment program. So what is that question, right? The question is, and you can ask it yourself, the question is, what do I sacrifice in my life and relationship by staying in the energy zone of fear? What do I sacrifice by staying in the energy zone of fear? And this is not just about actions, right? Because if your actions are fear-based, if your decisions are based on your fears, you're already leaning into this energy of fear, leaning into your life pattern of protecting yourself, avoiding the challenge, staying in the safe zone, the illusion of security, right? And not going to explore your desires, to explore your life purpose, right? Not stepping into unknown. What do I sacrifice? That was huge for some of my clients. It was just blew their mind, because they suddenly realized that so many decisions in their life were made from the place of fear, to avoid, the risk, to avoid uncomfort and insecurity or whatever they felt, a challenge, and not to go for what they really wanted deep inside. So the biggest insight, I think, about this is about, well, first I want to say that when you are in fear and you make decisions in fear from this place, and you choose actions from this place, you see challenge as a risk, right? Every challenge is a risk, so you avoid the risks. Now, when you are in your power, that means you follow your desires no matter what, and you lean into this energy of excitement. You're excited to explore your desires no matter what. You see every challenge as an adventure, right? It's an adventure, it's exciting. So it's a completely different energy. So see how you can lean on one another, and it's a matter of choice and constant focus of where does this decision come from? Does it come from fear, or does it come from my heart desire, right? And then choose. This is like we're always in this intersection all the time. It's not like we chose once a year. At the beginning of the year we stated no, that the collective field affects us a lot because it has huge energetic gravitational power, and our society is fear-based. Almost everything is designed on fear. It's fear-based, like insurance. The best example for me. It's triggering question, triggering topic for me. Like, why do we want insurance? Because we're afraid if something bad happens, we want to be covered, So it's all, what if something bad happens, And people made lots of money on our fears, right? So if you look at different institutions in the collective, in the society, many of them are fear-based. So if we live in society, we can't stay consistently in our power. We will be affected by this collective field. So many people live in fear. So that's why we do need this daily practice of awareness, of choice. Okay, do I lean into the fear, or do I lean into authentic desire? Do I see challenge as a risk, or do I see challenge as an adventure, right? So that's a huge difference. So the biggest insight about self-sabotaging for me, and I want to share with you so you can take a look and go inside and check in with yourself, that it's not just about physical action. It's not just procrastination and avoiding to do something, right? Because there are certain things maybe you need to avoid to do. If you do something that is not your heart desire, it's not something authentic that comes from your deep inside of you, maybe you need to transform and to change that, right? If you hate your career and you use willpower to go to work every day, and and you dream about retirement, right? You don't enjoy the process. That means there is something awful there. It requires some attention, and that's not self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is when you are avoiding to live your own desires, to follow your own desires, right? Like your true heart desires coming from within, right? Because of all these fears. All these also limiting beliefs connected with this fear. Maybe you don't believe it's possible to receive what you desire, to live it. And so the biggest insight, it's not just about the action. It's about the intention behind the action, the intention behind your decision. And what are you leaning? Is it fear-based, or is it desire-based? Do you act from your fear, or do you act from your power, right? So it's more about what you feel rather than what you do, because some people work really, really, really hard and they don't get what they want. It's because when they do these things, they lean into fear. They do it from the place of fear, and that's why they feel they don't succeed. They don't live their desires. They don't experience pleasure, joy, and satisfaction from life. They're constantly thrusted by this fear, right? So it's not just about what you do or don't do. It's about how you feel while doing it. So when you find that place, when you live from desire, you feel excited, you feel invigorated, you want to wake up, you want to live this day, you don't want to miss anything, you want to be forward, you want to be present, you go for it, and it's not just about the result. You enjoy the process itself because your desire is unfolding. It's the process. It's not the desire is not the result, just I achieved, It's not about the achievement, but it's more about exploration. Right? And this is when we have to watch for self-sabotage. How do I self-sabotage myself? In the process of exploring my desires, not achieving. It's not so important whether you make it happen exactly as you expected. It's about the exploration. You're enjoying the process itself as well, and it's even more important than the result. Then that is real. That is about growth. That is about exploration, connection, discovery. That's life. And this is how we can find happiness and fulfillment in all areas of our life. All right, so this is all for today. And I'll be happy to answer your questions. You can send me private messages. We can connect and we can talk if you would like to work with me and find the support for yourself to break through certain limitations, to break through limiting beliefs, to really find those desires, what you really want in your relationship, because also your relationship can be completely unique. You can create your own model of relationship and get what you really want deep inside of you, not looking at what is available on the market, what other people do. So that is all possible. It's all about internal permission. If you really want to go for it, I'm the one who can help you, because that is my creative process. That is my life purpose, and that's my gift, right, that I share with the world. And I'm excited about it. So I can share the benefit of it. I also can share the energy of it. So I work with women on energetic levels. So I do share my energy also because I am excited. I'm excited about the process of your self-discovery, of your self-exploration, of your transformation and empowerment. That makes me happy to see women discovering their power, discovering what they truly desire. It's just nothing as exciting for me as that, you know. And that's why it's my gift. That's why I'm here for you doing this work. So if you need my help, you need support, you do know that you want to live authentically, you want to have a loving, lasting relationship, combining with your successful career. That's what I'm focusing on with many of my clients. So thank you so much for being with me today, and I looking forward to reconnect with you. So this is weekly live show on Facebook on my page, Living Your Highest Potential in Love. You can like or follow my page so you don't miss notifications. If you know any women in your life who can benefit from this training, who can benefit from this video, you're welcome to share it with those women, because it is also about creating support system and help each other. This is how we create this alternative empowered field for us women to thrive and step in our power. So I wish you a great weekend, and I talk to you next week. Bye bye.